It is the second day of January 2025. You might be tempted to say 2024, but 2024 is gone once again. Our reporters have been up and about, interacting with different issues and different people. They have brought you different stories tonight. Here are the top ones. A movement begins, one that seeks to replace the current Kenya Kwanza regime. President Ruto and Raila Odinga champion East African unity at the Pini Luo Festival. Konza City boundary crisis continued to brew between Machakos and Makueni counties. And Harambee Stars land in Zanzibar for Mapinduzi Cup. This is KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. And Lucy Carrier is with us in the sign language interpretation tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, a movement has been formed to provide an alternative political leadership that seeks to replace the current regime of President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government. The movement led on Kenyan activist and strategist Professor Fred Ogola revealed the new strategy in Malindi in a conference that was attended by Christian, Muslim and Mijikenda Kaya elders, as well as the Luo Council of Elders.
In a bid to pressurize the current regime, a new movement has been formed as an alternative to usher in new political leadership. The movement, led by Kenyan activist Professor Fred Ogola, put out the new strategies which has brought together Christians, Muslims and Mijikenda Kaya elders, without forgetting Luo Council of Elders. Picking upon his installation as a Kaya elder in Malindi, Ogola claimed that there are currently two types of people in the country, thieves and those under regime oppression.
Kwa sababu serikali iliyoko hakuna matumaini, hakuna amani, hakuna imani. Hakuna imani, hakuna amani, hakuna matumaini. Lakini matumaini yale yako ni matumaini yetu sisi, kwa sababu tunaweza tukatengeneza serikali gani mbadala, sivyo? Tuko na matumaini ya kutengeneza nini?
According to Ogola, the movement has already begun under his direction and will travel throughout the coast region before moving to Western Kenya and then to every other county in the nation to interact with Kenyans and hear their opinions.
Mimi na viongozi ambao wako hapa tulikubaliana. Hakuna mtu anakuja hapa akisema nataka kuwa president. Usikuja hapa kusema nataka kuwa rais. Usikuja hapa kusema nataka kuwa governor. Useme nataka kuwa senator. Useme nataka kuwa MP ama MCA. Kuja hapa kuunda uongozi ya serikali badala. Tuingie kwa basi sisi sote, basi ambayo haina mwizi, basi ambayo haina mtapeli, basi ambayo haina muongo. Tukishaka kwa hiyo basi, ndio utasema driver ni nani, makanga ni nani, abiria ni nani, mwenye kusoma map ni nani.
Ogola believes that voting to overthrow the current government is the only viable option because the concept of demonstration has failed. Samuel Jembe, Mijikenda Kaya elder, expressed gratitude to Ogola for conceiving the campaign that aims to unseat President William Ruto in the upcoming general elections.
Tuache maandamano, kwa sababu wale walienda maandamano jana, sasa wako na tear gas, wengine wamelala njaa, wengine wako kwa cell ndio wanatolewa leo, lakini yule mtu ambaye aliwapeleka kwa cell wanaendelea kusafiri na ndege na gari, wanakula vizuri, wanaendesha kwa gari mazuri, lakini wao wako ndani ya cell na wamelala njaa kwa simiti. Nimelala kwa simiti siku 4, ingine nikalala kwa simiti siku 2, ingine nikalala kwa simiti siku 5. Najua kulala njaa hujakula kwa sababu hawakupatii chakula, wanakunyang'anya simu, wanaharibu kila kitu alafu nalala kwa simiti. Nimejua hiyo kitu inamaanisha nini. Kwa hivyo Sijasema usifanye maandamano. Kila mtu ako na haki ya kufanya maandamano. Lakini maandamano haitatoa serikali ya utapeli.
The increase in numbers for the presidential candidates come 2027 has continued to raise reactions from Kenya's leaders who have insisted that it will be hard to unseat the current regime without the formation of a grand coalition. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now in Siaya County, during the closing ceremony of the ongoing Pini Luo Cultural Festival, President William Ruto made some notable handouts for the residents of Nyanza in his latest tour to the region. The president, who was in the company of his Ugandan counterpart, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and Raila Odinga, announced the establishment of fish landing site at Wichloom that will cost 100 million Kenyan shillings in support of the blue economy of the Nyanza region.
Unity, progress, and the success of Africa.
This celebration also confirms to us that our quest as a region, as East Africa, to put forward the candidature of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is the correct thing to do, because the Right Honorable Raila Odinga is not a candidate for Kenya. He is a candidate for East Africa. That we had the right candidate with the right credentials to be able to champion the unity, the progress, and the success of Africa as a continent.
Welcome to Siaya Stand. My name is Joyce Awandu.
Love Uganda, love Kenya, love Tanzania. Uganda is not enough. Soko ya Uganda haitoshi. That's how we talk of our second principle is Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. You need it for your prosperity.
Named Luo Unity in Diversity and in Diaspora, the festival drew participants from across the globe, reflecting the shared heritage of the Luo people. President Ruto also took the opportunity to announce the official opening of Ramogi campus, which will begin admitting students in January.
Raila Odinga has said that culture is evolving, and that evolution comes with education and the need to expand opportunities, institutions that will support the development of culture, the accumulation of knowledge. In honor of this event, and in the presence of our friend President Museveni, we will then announce that this Ramogi campus is officially opened today.
President emphasized that the festival was not just about celebrating Luo culture, but also the evolution, traditions, and the multinational nature of Kenya's communities.
This event is a celebration of what devolution can achieve. We want to commend the counties for taking up the role of culture. We are celebrating this culture in the context that this community is also a multinational community. They are not only Kenyans, they are also Ugandans, they are Sudanese, they are Ethiopians, they are Congolese.
The three-day festival held in Migwena grounds in Bondo showcased Luo traditions, food and cultural practices, concluding with a powerful message of solidarity and collaboration. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
With the continued Konza City boundary crisis, the Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi has vowed not to allow an inch of Machakos soil to go to Makueni County through dubious means. His statement comes following a recent declaration that the facility was officially in Makueni County and not Machakos. According to Francis, who spoke in Machakos, the Konza City boundary issue was long resolved in Parliament in the past, and it was unanimously agreed that it was officially in Machakos County. Further, Mwangangi urged the Makueni County Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. to keep off the issue and has long been resolved, saying that the leaders and the people of Machakos County will do anything possible to protect and retain the initial official boundary of the technology city. Recently, the lands officials from the national government, in collaboration with Makueni County Governor, toured the Konza city and erected a new boundary, declaring the facility to be on Makueni County. The team also issued instructions that all the Konza city officials' documents be transferred to Makueni County Lands Registry.
That dispute came up within parliament. Munyaka akauliza swali, ikaenda Senate na ingine ikakuja kwetu National Assembly. The government of Kenya stated clearly, it is there in written, that Konza Techno City is in Machakos, and we have it. Sasa watu wetu, don't start war with Makueni. What I'm telling my governor and my brother in Makueni is, please don't be used by Kenya Kwanza wakikwambia watakusaidia kupelekea Konza Makueni.
We now move over to Kirinyaga County, where a woman lost her life after jumping off a matatu that lost control while ferrying passengers from Karatina to Embu. It is reported that the brakes failed after the matatu passed Kagumo town, with the driver managing to control the vehicle for a distance of about 10 kilometers before it landed on a farm at Gateway near Kirinyaga University. One other male passenger managed to jump off the vehicle and survived. While responding to the incident, Kirinyaga County Head of Fire and Disaster Management, John Kiama, urged drivers to carry out regular inspections of their vehicles to avert similar incidences. On the other hand, the 4NTE Matatu Sacco manager in Kerogoya, while acknowledging the incident, noted that the driver did the best to manage the situation.
Tulisikia nduru, tukatokea, tukafikiria ni hawa watu wa mochari wanapiga nduru hapa. Alafu tukaona umati wa watu pale kwa gate, tukaenda tukaona kwa barabara kuna umati wa watu mwingi sana. Watu wakaanza kusema ati ni watu wamehijack. Wajua mshimo huu watu wanasema hijacking inaendelea mbele na kidnapping. Alafu tukasikia kuna mmoja ameruka. Sasa sisi tukaenda kuona huyo ameruka ako wapi. Tukamkuta pahali yako, alikuwa ameaga. Alafu kando ya mbele ya watu tukaona mlango pahali huko, mlango wa hiyo Nissan. Nikachukua namba za hiyo nini na nikapigia the base commander. Alafu yeye akakuja. Alafu tukasikia kuna mwingine ameanguka Kerogoya Boys. Sasa tukaenda mpaka hapo Kerogoya Boys na tukaita ambulance ikakuja kamchukua, tukafuatana na hiyo gari. Tukaikuta pale Gateway Primary School, ndipo imesimamishwa kwa shamba. Lakini driver amejaribu kama amepita Kerogoya town ikiwa na hiyo speed yote. Na hapo ndio watu wameona kuna watu wanaruka gari. Kuna watu wanaruka wakitoka nje na gari haisimami. So kutoka Kerogoya watu wamekibisana sana na hii gari. Na mimi watu wakakuja kwa ofisi, hata hapa niko na receipt ya mmoja alikuwa amebebwa from Karatina, lakini amemanage kuruka juu ni kijana. Amemanage kuruka na ako sawa. Akakuja akaniambia hiyo gari imeruhusu brake na ndio sababu mimi nimeruka, lakini watu wengine wanaenda wakiruka.
University students from Embu County have called for a multi-sectoral approach to combat gender-based violence, GBV, which has increasingly affected youth, particularly those in universities. Speaking during the Embu County Campus Student Organization EXO annual general meeting held at the Leni Kivuti Innovation Center, EXO CEO Nicholas Kasanga called on the government to implement programs addressing gender-based violence at the grassroots level, particularly in rural areas.
In an attempt to raise awareness on femicide and gender-based violence, university students from Embu County have come out boldly calling for a multi-sectoral approach to deal with this disaster, emphasizing its impact to both male and female students.
Gender-based violence, as I have said, has been rampant, and in this year we have registered or rather recorded a good number of youth being killed. In our universities, we have had sad news about young girls who have been stabbed to death by their so-called loved ones, their boyfriends. We have also had cases of boyfriends being killed by their so-called girlfriends.
Since 2021, when we started this organization.
Speaking during the Embu County Campus Students Organization EXO 4th Annual General Meeting, EXO CEO Nicholas Kasanga called on the government to implement programs addressing gender-based violence at the grassroots levels, particularly in rural areas.
We are here and we have been having so many challenges as young people, including the issues of depression, the issues of mental issues, health issues that have been affecting some of us, the issues of abductions, as we know, have been happening, and we call upon government to come up with such kind of programs, because some of these issues are very young people who are not earning any salary, those that are depending on their parents and also are depending on other small sources of income. We request the government to come up with a program, allocate money that can go to sensitization of young people.
On our AGM, our 4th AGM or our 4th anniversary, the main theme is putting an end to gender-based violence, whereby we are talking and raising alarm on the arising issues on the gender-based violence, most especially to our ladies in the society.
On his part, former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti urged the youth to embrace unity, citing his political message of love and peace, with emphasis that where there is love, there's no room for harm.
If you love each other, would there be gender-based violence? Unajua gender means hata jamaa anaweza kuoa na msichana. Sindio? I can tell you, I never saw my grandfather beating my grandmother. I never saw my father beating my mother, and vice versa.
As the uproar on increased gender-based violence continues to fill the air, the clarion call for adoption of a multi-sectoral approach to combat this issue remains timely and acts as a cautious warning before danger. James Baraka for KUTV.
And residents of Busia County have been urged to continue enrolling in the SHA health insurance program to avoid the high costs of medical treatment. The remarks were made by Honorable Susan Mangeni, the Principal Secretary in the State Department for MSMEs Development. Susan, who spoke at the St. Peter's Catholic Church in Chakol, Teso South constituency, expressed concerns over the slow uptake of SHA among Busia residents, noting that many continue to incur significant expenses when seeking medical care. Additionally, she encouraged the uptake of government-supported loans under the Hustler Fund initiative.
Kwa sababu SHA sahi hata ukitaka kwenda, tuseme unaenda surgery, unataka kwenda operation, ila ambao uko na ugonjwa wa kansa, ya saratani, ya nini, ukienda uko hospitali, nimeona wagonjwa wengi wameniambia kutoka tu hapo Busia, nililipa 12,000 hata kwa laini nikafanyia operation, ila ambayo ilijumuisha shilingi hata more than 100,000. Ingewa cost close to 1 million, lakini kwa sababu alikuwa kwenye SHA ilifanya nini? Ililipa bill. Tunauza inakuwa kubwa, tunauza hata mashamba zetu, tunauza, tunakopa loan. Tafadhali register yourself kwa SHA. Tunaelewana?
It is 21 minutes past 9 p.m. Time for us to take a short break right here on KUTV Prime News. We'll be back in a bit.
Katika maisha yetu ya leo, wakulima na jamii nyingi kwa ujumla wanakumbatia teknolojia mbalimbali na kilimo hai ili kuondoa magonjwa sugu na kuongeza usalama na utoshelevu wa chakula. Mbolea asili imepunguza asidi kwenye udongo na kuongeza mavuno chungu nzima. Wajua tuko shambani, na humu shambani pia kuna ng'ombe, kuna kuku, na wanaacha uchafu wao. Na huo uchafu si wa kutupwa, ni wa kutumika katika kilimo kama mbolea. Kwa sababu mimea hii imekuwa kutumia mbolea ya hawa wanyama. Wakulima mbalimbali wamekumbatia teknolojia ili kuokoa gharama ya ukulima na kutumia nafasi zilizopo katika mashamba yao.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
Get ready to embark on a journey into the exciting world of technology as we uncover the latest trends, interview top thought leaders, and dive deep into the world of tech like never before.
Currently, we are facing the challenge in terms of finance. It requires one to move from different counties because we really need a large data set for our model to be more accurate.
In this new and exciting series of the Technovation Show, join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Monday 8:30 p.m. for a fun and thrilling experience as we explore the cutting-edge developments, meet visionaries driving change.
Somebody who is in the underground mine doesn't know the presence of those gases. So there are a lot of gases involved. There is methane, there is carbon monoxide, and there's also hydrogen sulfide. These gases actually, they are very dangerous and they are very toxic.
And discover the endless possibilities of the tech world.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Welcome back. Remember, we're streaming this live broadcast on our YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and our conversation is happening at Twitter, also called X, at KUTV_Kenya. Now, smallholder maize farmers in 6 South African provinces are using homegrown digital tech normally available only to commercial farmers to get the most out of their fields. Marise de Klerk reports from the maize fields in South Africa's Magaliesburg region.
Advances in agriculture technology have helped commercial farmers boost their yields worldwide, but affordability and accessibility issues often mean smaller farmers don't have access to the same tech. To bridge this gap, South Africa's Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR, is developing a web-based system tailored for small farmers. It's called the Precision Agriculture Information System, or PIAS. Moses Che is the project's lead scientist. He says the platform works in local languages and uses artificial intelligence to analyze data that can help farmers make their fields more productive.
We have adapted soil pH, soil organic content, soil nitrogen content or information that no other system has gone down to that level to generate such information.
Data is collected with drones and other equipment and is then compared to satellite images to help farmers optimize growing conditions. According to the CSIR, the system could increase farmers' yields by up to 20%. Stefan Jansen van Rensburg is a digital farming expert with Bayer Crop Science, which was not part of the CSIR project. He says teaching farmers how to analyze the data is one of the challenges.
It needs to be affordable for farmers to be adapted. The second one is the educational part. Farmers need to be educated, trained and upskilled how to use the products, the best products, effectively.
Northwest of Johannesburg, aspiring commercial farmer Wandile Sikosana is still at the wow stage, but says learning about the current PIAS's capabilities and how it can benefit his maize yields hasn't proven too difficult.
They say that they can check the moisture in the soil, via satellite. It's like, wow. Yeah, no, I understand what it tells me, and it's not that difficult to use, I must say. For somebody who was born before technology, I can find my way around.
As Sikosana and his team rush to plant the last seeds of the season, he says he is hoping to use the buyer's data to help him choose the right fertilizer for better yields next year. Marise de Klerk, VOA News, Magaliesburg District, South Africa.
And a program operating in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area is helping people manage their stress through knitting. Viewers Philip Alexio reports on the project Knit Well.
Today, we introduce you to a program operating around the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area that helps people manage their stress through knitting. In this report produced by viewers Philip Alexio, Project Knit Well is about volunteers helping people in stressful situations within their community.
Your thumb and your index finger up about an inch from the top.
The goal is that the miters all go the same way.
Project Knit Well is a nonprofit organization that was started 14 years ago, in 2010. It started as a result of my experience being the mother of a pediatric patient. Well, really, my daughter at that time was 7 weeks old, and she was rushed to MedStar Georgetown University Hospital. And it was a very stressful time for me. And I had been a knitter, but I hadn't knit in a very long time. And someone I knew had sent a present for her, and it was a hand-knit sweater. And when I opened it, somehow a bell went off in my head, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I just believed this would help me get through the hospital stay. My name is Carol Caparosa, and I am the founder of Project Knit Well. I've been the executive director at different points in the history of the organization. I'm currently on the board, so I've worn a lot of different hats with Project Knit Well. So you want to remember, you want to go in right by your thumb.
Okay.
And you want to... I found it as a great method to relax, and it seemed like it would be a good thing to teach people in hospitals or halfway houses or teen facilities who are in stressful situations.
A lot of our bone marrow transplant patients will come for hours certain days to get their chemo infusions upstairs, and one of them I actually bonded with by telling them I was mentioning my newfound hobby of knitting, and she was like, oh, well, let me show you what I've made. And we were going through photos of her knitting together. Certain patients find it really helpful as well, just to help pass the time in infusion chairs.
Come through and off.
Okay, cool.
You
got it. Appreciate it. Yeah.
In our hospital settings, we can work with both the patient, family members, their caregivers, and also staff.
Project Knit Well is essential really for our staff well-being. So they come in and teach staff how to knit, and then also hold knitting times for staff when they can go in at lunchtime and knit together, because knitting is not only about taking time out for yourself and doing something to reduce stress, but it's about building a community.
Okay, here we are at the Project Knit Well wall, I call it, at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital. These are just examples of the kinds of projects that people can knit while they're in the hospital. So we purposely make them simple, achievable, so that our people we work with will have a sense of accomplishment and be successful. This is Keisha. She was a mom that I worked with for almost 5 months, and she learned to knit while she was in the hospital. This is her son, Elliot, and as you can see, she's holding Elliot and knitting a scarf. She became quite a knitter. She's on our board right now.
I just sit and do it when I'm bored. Sit and do it when I'm frustrated. It's fun. It's okay with me doing this. It keeps you calm. Takes stress off you. You don't think about other stuff. All you think about is knitting.
Knitwood just helps the ladies, and if they can help keep them calm and keep them grounded and somewhat balanced and somewhat with a clear mind, even for 2 hours, then they've helped the village as a whole. You know, our ladies don't get a lot of that outside of here. You know, they come from every walk of life. People come off from the airport, ironically, and someone has told them about industry, and then when they hear about the classes, or they hear about the classes, and they hear about like Knitwell, and they also can come in and kind of see what they're doing, and they're very inviting. Your guys are very inviting. We appreciate that because our women we want our women to feel at home, and when they come in with Knitwell, they feel at home.
I'm making a scarf. I made a scarf, and now I'm making. I left it at the center. I'm making a throw blanket. It'll be pretty big. Well, I'd say about that big. Yeah, about that wide. Yeah.
My name is Lexi Keogh, and I'm the Executive Director of Project Knitwell. Project Knitwell is working at 13 different sites right now. We work in about 4 different hospitals in the Washington, D.C. area, but we also have some sites at different community groups throughout the area. We work with children, women, refugees, people, any type of person who's really facing a challenge. We find that knitting can really bring a source of comfort and community to them.
I learned to knit when I was a young girl back home, so it's still on me. I never forget. Originally, I'm from Nigeria. It's relaxing. It's very relaxing. You forget, you just wind down your mind. It's an act. So you just keep on knitting. It takes you away because you are eager to see what you're doing. It takes you away and forget some worries or anything. It's very relaxing.
Bring the X to the front, and I take it off. They say it releases serotonin, which is a chemical that helps calm down, make you a little happier. You're doing great. Around the back, click, good. The whole mission of Project Knitwell is to utilize knitting as a wellness tool for people who are in stressful situations.
Welcome back. Let's dive into sports news. The Kenya national men's football team, Harambee Stars, has touched down in Zanzibar for the Mapinduzi Cup tournament set to begin this Saturday. In the match fixtures, Kenya will face Burkina Faso at the Gombani Stadium on January 4th at 8:15 p.m. They will then clash with Tanzania on January 7th and take on Zanzibar on 10th of January. The team, led by interim coach Francis Kimani, has an opportunity to make a strong comeback this season following the departure of former coach Engin Firat. And Kenya's football team, Gor Mahia, has emerged victorious over Uganda's Kitara FC in a friendly match during the inauguration of the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Sports Complex. The match ended in a 0-0 draw after 90 minutes of intense action, but it was Gor Mahia who triumphed 9-8 in a thrilling penalty shootout. Both teams gave their all in a tightly contested match, but despite their numerous attempts, neither side could break the deadlock within regular time. The game went into penalties where Gor Mahia showed their composure and clinical finishing, narrowly edging out Kitara FC in the dramatic shootout. It's approximately 9:37 p.m. Time for us to bring a close to the conversation that is KUTV Primetime News tonight. Be sure to enjoy the rest of our programming of educative, innovative, and creative programs, all curated to make sure that you have a new experience in your viewing. And be sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place for KUTV Primetime News. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Carrier. Mine is Mutegi K. Martin. Good night.